Fun receiving packages that you don't remember buying, or even what's in it. Huh. Well, this should be interesting. Fucking sweet, dude. Forgot I even ordered this guy. I remembered I got him on Pulse, but this is from Amazon. Oh, that's right. I was going to flip one of these. Well, I guess the Pulse one will be sold. Interesting. Jesus, the thing came with more tissue paper than a teenage boy's room. Alright, this thing's kind of cool looking. Can't wait to film this review. Alright, first thing we're going to talk about is the box. Now, for those of you who do watch my channel, I talked about with the Mattel Creations, or whatever they're called, exclusive Goddess Evil Lyn, that, this is the way I want to see boxes done, where they're much more interactive, and if you're doing these exclusives, they should be fun and cool. And I am very happy with this box. Now, it's not the same quality level, but you do get a beautiful artwork, the product shots, etc. But you do get a nice display. And you can actually display him kind of in here. You can actually kind of set up, he's got his own box frame. He doesn't quite fit with all the bits and pieces attached, but I do still think he looks great. I mean, he comes in robot mode. So, I mean, he comes with the wings already attached and the guns attached, so he can fit. It does look good, but it is a little bit awkward. So, let's go ahead and talk about who Nova Prime is. Nova Prime is from the IDW comics, from the Shun era. He's basically one of the predecessors of Optimus Prime, the first one to hold the Matrix, and the first non-13 to hold the name Prime. In the comics, we're first introduced to him when he calls himself Nemesis Prime, and it's only later that we discover that he is previously Nova Major and later Nova Prime. Unlike Optimus, who's a stalwart of good and, basic 1980s morality, Nova Prime instead is corrupt. And a lot of what happens with the IDW comic books stems from the corruption that was Nova Prime. He went out to try to conquer other civilizations. He made sure that everyone had their class system put up, that it was very, very strict and regimented. And he fades into obscurity because of that. And when he comes back from the undead universe. And for the first few years, he is a haunting threat. When I say first few years, I mean in the Simon Furman Shun series, and then once post-Earth stories, post All Hail Megatron and the Earth stories, he becomes a recurring threat until the end of Dark Cybertron. And I'm not going to spoil anything. I mean, granted, these comics now are 10, 15 years old, but they're worth reading. I know some people don't like IDW, but I loved what they were trying to do with it. Nova Prime has also branched out. He has appeared in a couple of the cell phone games, as well as, most importantly, if Transformers Devastation got a sequel, he would have been the villain, and he actually appears in the game. In the cutscenes at the end, he's in the credit scene waking up, and he would have been the villain of the second game if they had made one. But that's enough for history. Let's go ahead and talk about the figure itself. Alright, first we're going to start off in vehicle mode, which is honestly probably the weakest mode that they have of the three. What it does have. Yeah. As you can see here, he transforms into some sort of Cybertronian battle vehicle. I know he is a retool of the Siege, Ultra Magnus, and then later the Cybertronian Galaxy Convoy. So I don't really know much about those figures. Unfortunately, I didn't buy them. And I didn't really watch Cybertron, so I don't know enough about the character or why he has all this cool equipment. So there's going to be no review with either of those. Now, of course, the original pre-mold was based, like I said, it was Ultra Magnus, and was based off of kind of an amalgamation of his G1 self and the Robots in Disguise. You can definitely see that they're definitely very Robot Disguise-esque. in his design. Now, I do have some issues with this. No matter what I do, I can't get the legs to stay straight here to let them roll. It's just not plugging in for me, and maybe they're misshapen. Might sand it down a little bit so that I can get them back in there. It's a minor complaint. He does remind me a lot of Robots in Disguise Optimus, actually. And I would not be shocked if we get a third retool out of this to get that figure. And I would be very excited if we do. Oh, that clip came undone. Now, the singing is far from perfect. And you do notice I have these guns upside down, and I do that on purpose. I think it looks cooler. It just does to me. He does, of course, have articulation in this. You can pose the guns out. You can have them do different things. It's a cool. It's cool. I dig it. I like it. It's very basic. It's very white. You will notice there is no Autobot symbol or stickers. And that is, of course, because he's not an Autobot. He's from before there were Autobots. So that's why he's rather plain looking. But it is cool looking. Again, I wish that I could get this piece straighter. But it's probably just me not doing something right. But it is what it is. I like it. I still dig it. But yeah, it's okay. It's seriously the weakest of the three. Now, transform them is simple. You untap them. There's another tab up in here. There we go. And so far, so good. First, you're going to remove these. And so, fortunately, these don't really plug in anywhere. So they're kind of just floating. Now, he is a parts former. And that's because of how he transforms. But transformation is simple, but fun. I mean, it is good. It's solid. And you do hear that it has some really nice ratchet joints. It's good to raise the camera up here just a little bit. Tightest joint for me in this entire transformation is the part with this chest here. It just does not like to come out, no matter where it's positioned. And it's probably a good thing. But I'm worried that, I might break it. And here we have him in his robot mode. And it's a good robot mode. It looks good. It looks very Optimus-y. It looks very Ultra Magnus-y. And that's done for reasons. But he does have that nice classic Prime head that we're seeing. Only with the gray here. Instead of being all white like it would be on Magnus, you do get the nice blue for the windows. And the gold showing that he's pompous. And he is pompous. And of course, he can hold his various guns. He can hold this one. And if you want, he can hold these bigger guns, which are badass. Don't get me wrong. They are tight to get in there, but he can hold them. But they are badass. And he does have a lot of articulation in this mode. Let's get that out of there. Head can do the full 360. You can look up, down, etc. You do get full 360 with the arms. You can go out. You can go out. You do get wrist rotation. Because of how he transforms, you can extend that out just a little bit. You do get full... Oops, I didn't finish transforming this. Another part that is very tight for me is this sliding piece. There we go. And he does have that weird back. But you can't help that. Anyways, he can kick forward. Listen to those ratchets. Oh, that is sexy. You do get knee bend. He can kick back. He can do the splits. Feet, you do get some ankle tilt. And I do like it. I think he looks good. I think he looks fantastic in this mode. And he does look very Prime-esque. We didn't get a lot of shots of... Oh, forgot to do the heel spurs. We didn't get a lot of shots of him as Nova Major in the comics, so it's hard really to base anything off that, but he does look quite nice. And even if this was just the figure you got yourself, if this was just an Optimus Prime figure, I think you would be very happy with it. And that's saying a lot, considering I'm very, very strict on my primes, but this is fantastic. But he does have his third mode, and that's the mode that really excels the figure, because in the comics, Nemesis or Nova, whatever you call him, is larger than life. He's big, he is strong, and it is a definite strength and homage for him to be able to be himself. One of the things that they really did a lot with in Transformers is the Primes always had, with the exception of Sentinel, but kind of with Sentinel, and I'll explain that in a second, they always had their extra part that became part of their base or an armor. Whether it's Optimus with his original trailer, Rodimus having his gun station, to even Power Master Prime having the base / battle armor. It's something that they did, and famously, of course, in Robots in Disguise, that fire convoy can combine with his armor, become God Fire Convoy, and then combined with God Magnus and all that. So the fact that they continue that tradition is one of the things I really do enjoy. You got to flip in those seals first and make it so that he does combine and he makes it stronger. In the Shun universe, and very early into it, when Megatron and Optimus first fight chronologically when the comics were published, he thinks that he's killed. Megatron thinks that he's killed Optimus Prime, but Blaster then blasts him in the back, and he comments, "I forget that you Primes always come in pairs." And the fact that they work and utilize their command decks and their extra pieces to become something bigger and better is something that I do enjoy. And it's a great homage, and it's a great tradition. I mean, you go back to even, for example, Starsaber. He combines with his extra parts to become bigger. And it's something that Japan really liked to do. And it all started really with the whole battle armor thing with Powered Convoy, which became the Ultra Magnus figure as we know and love it. So far he's got on a pair of pants and some gloves there. For this part, it is rather simple. I mean, you do have that visible head there. Go ahead and detach this. It likes to stick. Everything on this, by the way, is very, very tight, and that's very impressive for this figure. Take off the gun. Bring this around. Turn the head around. I gotta bring this back down so I can slide this out. And I gotta lose a piece. Basically, this just comes up and over. There are 2 tabs that go into 2 slots. Like so. Like I said, you gotta line these back clips that are in the back here up perfectly right. Let's go ahead and re-show you here. So you basically want to kind of just like snap that on. And then this just comes down over, tabs into the chest. Then you place your guns how you want them. These attach to his legs. And this goes up into here, like so. And let's go ahead and raise the camera up so we get the full shot here. And here we go. And he looks fantastic. Now, I do have some minor qualms with the figure in general. Oop, forgot one more part. There we go. Now he is Nova Primed. Yep, the smaller bot is Nova Major. The larger bot is Nova Prime. But really doesn't matter. But here we go. He looks great. My real complaint really is that his guns in the back are not symmetrical. But it's minor. It is really minor. As far as articulation goes, it's the same we just had. The backpack does limit the waist rotation minimally. In fact, barely. But that's it. Now you do add on the wings. And the guns do have additional articulation. We'll show that in a second. Then you do get his handguns as well. But it looks fantastic. And of course, like I said, he can hold these black guns, he can hold this little gun. But it is a cool looking figure. It reminds me a lot of kind of a cross between Robots in Disguise, Fire Convoy, Classics, or Universe 2.0 Jetfire. Yeah, really. That'd be cool if these pieces bent down over. That would be fantastic. Now, because he is the Galaxy Convoy mold, these guns can come down and around to become basically like G.I. Joe heavy duty type guns. You just line that up and pa-pow, pa-pow, pa-pow. You can bring these guns up as well. And it is a cool figure. I do wish he came with a sword, though. I just think he would look better with a sword. But yeah, I mean, let's take a look at the paint detailing here on the head. You do get the lovely gold. You still get the blue for the eyes, but it's much more subdued. You do get these two black sides, which I do like. You do notice that they try to replace a lot of the blue and the gold with gray. Now, they couldn't really do anything with the hands or the chest, but you do get that nice look to them. And I love the wings. I think the wings look fantastic. I've heard some people kind of like mention online that they don't like them too much, but I dig them. I do like that because they still have the ports on there, you can kind of put the gun on and extend the wings out just a little bit. I mean, it looks corny, but it is something you can do and something that I like to do. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's talk about some. All right, here he is with some of the other members of the Dead Universe or Ancient Cybertronians. We have Kingdom Galvatron. In the back, I got a Studio Series 86 sweep since I don't have Scourge. We've got Cyclonus, we've got Rung, G-Axis, and Dark Mount or Straxus. And you can see he does look good, and this is really cool that we're able to do this. Now, if we can only get Grindcore and Diatlas, we'd be able to recreate some scenes, and that would make me very happy indeed. And for some other comparisons, here I have him with my commemorative Optimus Prime figure that I've got back in the early 2000s. Rodimus Prime, some from the same era, and Sentinel Prime. So yeah, now we've got four of the Primes who weren't ancient. Well, technically ancient, but you get what I mean. Again, very cool figure. I dig it. I dig how he looks, and I'm very excited to see if we get more of these cool, obscure characters. Real quick, one more comparison. Get these guys out of the way. Since this is an IDW exclusive character that's since grown on to other things, go ahead and bring in Tarn. Just again, show you that Hasbro might be a little bit late to the party of giving IDW some love, but we're definitely getting some love, and that does make me happy. Thanks for watching. Comment down below. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you want to see next.